Hello again. Hola. How art thou? I've got dry mouth tonight, and it is very late in or early at this point on a Monday morning in Quintilis. I'm going back to pre-Caesar time. Seize her sounds like to take her, seize her. And I started to understand why I and some other women, ladies, are going more raspy and training our voice to speak deeper, because it seems that the sopranos, the falsettos, or the transitioners, I don't know, imitators of mothers, and we are taking a mama bear raw approach. There was a song by my name, Valerie, and it says Valerie Valera, and I was just doing a word play about soap raw no, as in telling raw not to use soap. And it was a joke. I laughed, to myself about it, but it took me to being filthy rich and rhymes, and somehow the world insists that there has to be opposites. And to me, that's where opposition happens when, excuse me, when they don't clarify what, what all kind of opposites there are. So at first we were told the opposite of love was hate. And then we were told the opposite of love is fear. And then we were told that love and hate was the same coin, and it gets us caught up in philosophy, the love of knowledge. And I've come to the knowledge of truth that some people are having fun with that. And, you know, I'm no longer appreciating it. I'm waving to give you something to look at, but excuse me. Um, I didn't think through what I would be doing uh, at a half century, but I do still intend to keep it a buck, if not more. But at more than a half century on this plane, um, I have to take my sovereignty, and not even in a percentage. I understand the percentage, but back to keeping it a buck, I gravitate towards the words of uh, Curtis Jackson, known as 50 Cent, which is, you don't owe anybody anything. And I'm paraphrasing. He said you don't know nobody's shit. But I don't, I don't owe them that either. Um, what time is it? Okay, only 4 minutes of rambling. But that's the start of it. We start off as newborns. Every time you go through a rebirth, a part of you is still young. Or I think we're actually in the recession in more than just the economy. So we have to think for ourselves and revalue ourselves. So the world would like for you to believe that you can't afford this, and of course it's going to mess with your self-esteem. It definitely messed with mine. Uh, but I knew my worth. And my worth is more precious than my birthday, more precious than my reincarnation, my recrowning of coming back to this earth. You do know they call it crowning when a baby's coming forth out of the matrix. Do you know that delivery process is called the matrix? Um, did you know that it's also called lightning, what a woman feels when she's delivering a child? And people have tried to debate when life starts, at conception. And, this is life in review, all the things I've heard over the years. Woe versus Wade, if I said those right. To me, Wade is, again, it's still referring to water and birthing and introducing the Pisces and the Aquarius age. And that was explained just earlier today of why our ages are going in reverse. If we just came out of the Piscean age, why are we now supposedly in the Aquarian age? I believe we're in all ages. Okay, just put out there. We're looking at the entire clock. So back to, they say on one hand, past, present, futures happening at the same time. Other people say there is no such thing as the past. This is why you have to make up your own mind. And apparently, again, all of it's in there. Rearrange words and the alphabet the way that you choose. So I'm not limited to what's inside of me, inside of this body, even the aura. That's still a limitation. So when people say, there's no sun, I mean, they going there. They're going there. Everything. I mean, let's go with the highest one, that it's all made up. Every bit of it. I am not real. You're not real. Let's go for just a moment. Okay? So then sickness isn't real. But how do we apply this information? Some have already applied it to me, then go out and do evil, do mayhem, do backwards things. Is you have a blank slate for life to write your own story. You don't even have to use an 8x10 piece of paper, but for just a moment, let's use that plain white piece of paper. Okay? And this is the equivalent to the Matrix movie where Morpheus gave him an entire white room. Now, comprehend, understand, on a normal basis, that room is black. It's pitch black because we're talking about the place of creation. Darkness covered the earth. And then we said, let there be light or enlightenment or an idea or even black light. Didn't say white light, just says light. Could be fire. So you're in this space of a blank sheet of paper, a blank sky, a blank canvas, and you're at zero. You're at reset. And my time is running out. But you chose violence at a 0 point. That's why they say, what is war? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. And I'm not going to say it again. My name is Val. This is Go Ask Val. Troubleshooting your life, or, getting past shooting. Just, I don't know, just keep my hands to myself. Sit on my hands. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.